my friend, is how we do things on Jemison.
Today, on Starfield Essentials. In general news, Xbox True Achievements rank shows Starfield's staying power. Xbox mod user community 5 times bigger than PC. Starfield is on sale through December 4th. Some creations are on sale. Sweet merch sale. And Envyray tag getting attention. In mod and play news, Unity framework changes NG+. Starfield needs Fallout 76's best build system. Forgotten Frontiers creation. Sith Empire conversion for Shattered Space work in progress. More guides for voice and audio. Almost 10,000 mods on Nexus. Quest mods tending to be paid creations. And in-game management news, Starfield documentation myths. Trackers Alliance bounties still broken. Creation kit icon guide. And another Teufel speedrun world record. My name is Richard. Let's get started. In general news, Xbox True Achievements rank shows Starfield's staying power. Let's start with the news that everyone needs to hear. This is original analysis that I hope once again shows that Starfield is not a failed game. Those who are committed to the failed game narrative will not change their minds, so this segment is for those of you who, like me, want to know exactly what's happening with Starfield. Every week I post the results of the True Achievements Top 40 Xbox gameplay chart. For example, for the week ending November 24th, Starfield was number 33. This ranking is obviously not a perfect way to measure all aspects of game performance. However, it's reasonable to consider it directionally correct. In other words, a game that has not done well, like Star Wars Outlaws unfortunately, is not ranked highly and does not appear in many weeks, while games that are doing well, like Call of Duty, are both highly ranked and frequently ranked. I decided to look at all of the data for Starfield, reaching back to the game's first appearance on the chart in September 2023. I manually extracted all of the rankings for Starfield, Fallout 76, Baldur's Gate 3, Fallout 4, Cyberpunk 2077, Star Wars Outlaws, Skyrim, No Man's Sky, and Fallout 3. Although these games are not all exactly alike as far as game mechanics go, when you see them in the charts, they are best considered as being in the same peer group. You might put No Man's Sky in a different group, but as you'll see, it's irrelevant anyway. You might also want to separate Baldur's Gate 3 due to its small party play feature, but I kept it in the analysis to preempt complaints. Here is the raw data. I thought it would be best to plot it graphically. Here's what that looks like. As you can see, it's tough to make sense of this graph. That's why I went back to the original data. Notice that Starfield has been in the top 40 rankings every week except 3, as highlighted here. No other game has a streak like that. Check out Baldur's Gate 3, with this huge gap, broken only by a number 39 appearance. Incidentally, look at the bump to the Fallout franchise due to the Fallout TV series, which premiered on April 10th, 2024. Besides boosting Fallout 76 from obscurity, and more briefly bumping Fallout 4, the TV show even pushed Fallout 3 into the rankings for 2 weeks. The far right column shows Star Wars Outlaws. I only included here to show how these rankings capture games that don't perform well. It doesn't make sense to compare Star Wars Outlaws to the other games because it only appeared on August 30th, 2024. As you can see, Outlaws was in the rankings for 4 weeks, starting at 19, peaking at 18, and last appearing at 36. Beyond raw appearances in the rankings, I wanted to capture quality of performance in the top 40. I first considered using a lowest score wins approach, so giving 1 point for a first place ranking, but that approach would benefit unranked games because they would have 0 points. To fix that problem, I inverted the scores, so a first rank got 40 points, second got 39, and so on. Unranked appearances naturally got 0 points. Here is what that chart looked like. I summed all of the titles to get the values at the bottom. Now, when you rank the games by points, you see how strongly Starfield has performed for every week starting December 10th, 2023. It actually performed even better before December 10th, but I omitted those weeks because Baldur's Gate 3 released on Xbox on December 7th, 2023. You could make an argument that this analysis fails to account for BG3 appearing on PC in August and PlayStation and Mac in September. You might also say that BG3 would be doing better if it were on Game Pass. That's all fine. BG3 doing better wouldn't knock Starfield out of these rankings, unless both games were very close to the bottom. My point with these charts is to show that Starfield is an unequivocal hit for Bethesda, Xbox, and Microsoft. With the rise of Game Pass, Microsoft is looking for games with staying power that will keep players coming back for more. As we see in these charts, Starfield has been a top 40 performer on Xbox for 62 of 65 weeks. This is exactly what Microsoft wants. Will Starfield drop out of the top 40? Probably. It's happened before, in April, when Fallout stormed back and probably diverted some Bethesda fans from Starfield to Fallout. When Starfield does weaken, I would expect to see Microsoft and Xbox release Starfield on PlayStation. That move would not be reflected in these charts, but whatever metrics Bethesda is collecting will benefit from the additional player count. Too long? Didn't listen? Starfield is a huge success on Xbox, and the failed game narrative is itself a failure. Next, Xbox mod user community 5 times bigger than PC. I wanted to get a sense of how big the player count is when you compare Xbox players to PC players. That would tell me the relative importance of Xbox rankings. I thought that counting mod usage might provide some insights. Xbox players can use creations for modding. PC players can use creations or third-party sites like Nexus mods. I picked 10 popular mods that are on both sites, Bethesda Creations and Nexus mods. Unfortunately, both sites do not provide download metrics. The most common metric found on both sites involve views and likes. I did 2 rounds of analysis. For the first round, I looked at mods on the Creation site. I compared the view counts and the like counts for the following 10 mods: Non-Lethal Framework, SKK Fast Start New Game, The Gang's All Here, Mech Overlord Boss, Polyamory, Bedlam, Avon Tech Shipyards, The Cheat Terminal, Starfield Community Patch, and Astrogate. I extracted all of the data and built this spreadsheet. I calculated the ratio of Xbox views to PC views and Xbox likes to PC likes. The views ratio was 3.6 and the likes ratio was 5.3. I'm sure you could do similar analysis for plays and bookmarks, but I leave that to you. Splitting the difference, it looks like the Xbox audience for creations is about 5 times bigger than the PC audience, at least when it comes to modding. But what about Nexus mods? Fear not, I looked at this too, which is why I chose views and likes for the first calculations. The big problem when comparing creations with Nexus involves publication date. In some cases, the Nexus mods version appeared months before the creations version, so I had to normalize that on a per-day basis. For views, I first calculated views per day for Xbox, and then for Nexus mods. I next calculated a ratio of Xbox views per day compared to Nexus views per day. You can see the values range from 0.8 for the Starfield Community Patch, meaning the patch was actually more popular on PC, to 8.8 for the Cheat Terminal, meaning that mod was way more popular on Xbox. The 10-game average was 4.0, meaning Xbox views are 4 times as prevalent as Nexus views. Turning to likes, I did a similar analysis for likes per day and then calculated the same ratio. Here the lowest was 1.3 for The Gang's All Here, my personal favorite, and the highest was 9.1 for Mech Overlord, one of Inquisitor's mods. The 10-game average was 4.6, meaning Xbox likes were 4.6 times as prevalent as Nexus likes. So splitting the difference here, we see 4.3 as the result. Now I consider these numbers to undercount Xbox players. Some Xbox players don't use mods at all. If you play on PC, you're naturally more inclined to use mods because you have so many more ways to use them. Furthermore, there are almost 10,000 Nexus mods right now, compared to less than 3,000 on Creations. Too long, didn't listen? The mod player count on Xbox is 4 or 5 times bigger than the PC mod player count. When you throw in people who don't use mods at all, I think that skews towards Xbox, meaning the Xbox player base overall is at least 5 times bigger than the PC player base. That means that when you see a strong Starfield performance in rankings like the True Achievements Top 40, it's a big deal. Now, I don't need Starfield to be successful in order to like it. Of course, the more success it has, the more likely it will get official support from Bethesda, Xbox, and Microsoft. Still, if Starfield were only moderately successful, it would still likely get support, and modders are already creating awesome additions to the game. Only in the case of a Concord-like flop would the studio pull the plug. I just wanted to clarify my stance on this game. Now, if you'd like to bring some of the fun to your friends, check this out. Bethesda's Autumn Sale is live now through December 4th. All versions of Starfield and Shattered Space are on sale. Now is the time to get either or both. And no, I neither work for Bethesda nor receive support from any sponsors. In addition to the game and DLC being discounted, it appears some creations are on sale. For example, the Robin Locke companion is now 350 credits instead of 500 credits. Longtime channel follower Willia451 noted the following are also on sale. There's also a sweet merch sale live now. It ends on Monday, December 2nd. You can get this awesome Crimson Fleet hat for $5, at least in the US. Finally, in general game news, the Envyray tag has been getting attention. As we can see here in SteamDB, we don't know what this code means, but it was last worked on in August. Here's hoping it's in the next release. Turning to mod and play news. Unity Framework changes NG+. Modder DJ Legends released the Unity Framework this week. This mod makes it possible to create your own new universes when you go to New Game Plus. To provide a way to test this, DJ Legends gives you the main mod, a variant disabler, and a sample new universe. If you want to test it all yourself, be sure to download and enable all three. You will have to go through the Unity twice to see the sample new universe. An easy way to test it is to use the following console command, COC MQUnity. So here I am going through the Unity again. Let's go inside the lodge and see who's waiting for us.
Well, if it isn't the that left me for dead at the key. You have got to be kidding me. You are not the one who tried to kill me. After all this time, it is the wrong version of you. Just go. Take everything and get the hell out of here.
That is pretty cool. AI voice and everything. Remember, it's just a demo to show how it works, but I think that's pretty neat. Haha. Good job, DJ Legends. I can't wait to see what people do with this. Thank you to DJ Legends for releasing this mod and for answering my questions. Next, Bethesda released details on how Fallout 76 players can share their camp builds with other players. I have only barely tried Fallout 76 when it was free to play a few weeks ago. However, I love the idea of sharing camps. Imagine if we could do this with outposts and ships in Starfield. Let Bethesda know you would like this capability. Personally, I believe we will see a Fallout 76 or Elder Scrolls Online type version of Starfield. I would not be surprised to see a massive multiplayer game set in the Colony Wars or the First Serpent's Crusade. Until then, it would be great to have an easy way to share outposts and ships in Starfield. Remember, currently the best way to share your ship is to build it in the creation kit and share the ESM. Check out my tutorial for details. Several of you asked for my thoughts on the Forgotten Frontiers creation by MadMonkey119. This creation is only available on the creation site and it costs 500 credits. It adds 5 new Radiant POIs to the game. I bought it and so far I have only found the Forgotten Underground Bunker. I had a challenging encounter in this bunker, probably because I was running my Chaos mods. So far, my only concern with the POI I did find was that it's too difficult to find your way out. The second time I visited it, I had to use a console command to float up to the exit. Maybe this is a me problem, but I could not use the scanner to find the exit, nor could I fast travel away from this POI. In any case, I look forward to exploring the other 4 POIs. As you know, I support paid mods, because if you don't like it, you don't have to buy it. Next, Star Wars modder Deity Venger released some details about his Sith Empire conversion for the Shattered Space DLC. I covered version 6 of his Star Wars Genesis conversion kit a few months ago. I look forward to adding this Sith Empire setting to my Star Wars play. Next, more guides for voice and audio. Last week, I talked about the addition of lip sync features to the Starfield creation kit. Thanks to modder T-Bone X28B, we have 2 more guides on lip sync and audio from modding. I will link them in the description. Now, I mentioned earlier, but there are now almost 10,000 mods on Nexus. Starfield currently has 9,597 mods on Nexus and is the 11th most modded game. I think it could break 10,000 mods by the end of the year. By the way, Creations has 2653 right now. Regarding download count, Starfield is the 17th most downloaded title, with 63.8 million downloads. Next, quest mods tending to be paid creations? There was a comment recently about quest mods. This may or may not be the case that they are paid creations, but I just saw a post on Reddit praising the Lazarus Awakened quest. It's on Creations and Nexus mods for free. I intend to check it out. Let me know what you think about it. Now, on to game management news. Starfield documentation myths. Periodically, we hear another myth about Starfield that it had no documentation. This false narrative was already debunked by Never Knows Best in his video, Lies, Hate, and the Story of Emil Pagliarulo. Well, there's another video which adds some context to the truth of the matter. Check out Level and Quest Design, Collaboration from Skyrim to Starfield, featuring Will Shen and Daryl Brigner at the 2024 Level Design Summit. Will Shen was Starfield's lead quest designer. Starting around 39 minutes of this video, he talks about how, as the BGS and external teams grew, quote, documentation became a way of life and became absolutely critical, end quote. Next, Trackers Alliance bounties still broken. There are two angles to this story. The first is the saga of a Redditor who has 400 bounties in the Trackers Alliance and still no respect from Roach. I advised him to check out the Roach content in the creation kit, but he is reluctant to do so. At some point, I will take a look myself. In the meantime, does anyone want to see if there is a bounty number at which Roach's dialogue changes? If you learn anything, please let us know. The second angle involves the handling of Trackers Alliance bounties and whether you can complete them on a regular basis. I did some testing this past week, and I will share the results in next week's video. Next, Redditor Background Most 1180 shared a guide to the icons found in the Starfield creation kit. I think this is just excellent. The creation kit is pretty intimidating, so anything like this that makes it more accessible to new users is a good thing. Also, I qualified for creating a haiku when I asked to mention this work. Finally, we have another Teufel World Record speedrun. This is a glitchless new file speedrun for the UC Vanguard quest. This means that Teufel started with a new game and completed the faction quest without using any tricks. He finished in 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 59 seconds. Congratulations to Teufel. What have you been doing in Starfield? What do you think of these news updates? Your insights make this channel a place for positive and honest discussion of Starfield. In addition to videos, I post to the community tab for this channel on a daily basis. If you subscribe, you will see these posts in your YouTube feed. If you made it to this part of the video, please leave a comment with the phrase, strength and honor. Also, remember to ring the bell icon and select all notifications. Check out my other videos if you want to learn how to keep your ship by building it in the creation kit, or my thoughts on the game's 1-year anniversary. My name is Richard. I will see you in the Starfield.